Hi, everybody. Before we get to another great interview, we could really use your help. IMDb, which is the entertainment database, recently named the Two Opinionated podcast one of its top 100 podcasts. This is a monumental feat for this program. We're a father and son team out of a small town in West Virginia, have been doing this for about 5 years. There's 15 million podcasts out there. About 40,000 of those get to the point that they're listed on IMDb. Out of those 40,000 out of the 15 million, we were ranked number 82. Something that we're just immensely proud of. We're so thankful for our listeners, our watchers, our fans. Thank you so, so much. If you would like to help us out, and we're asking for it, please. It's easy. It's really easy. It's free. If you go to IMDb, that's imdb.com, look up Two Opinionated Podcast, and just take a look at the page. That's all you have to do. I mean, you're welcome to look at the cast, look at the episodes so you can kind of see who's been on the program. Do whatever you want. But even just bringing up the page, imdb.com, Two Opinionated Podcast, bring up the page, look at it. That helps us so much. So please, if you can do anything, we would really appreciate that. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. Love to have your subscription there. It's also free. And you can also check out our website, meistercon.com, where you'll find almost 700 episodes, audio and video, available on there. There's also a terrific blog from Brett, and it'll let you know anything that we have going on in studio, if we're covering a convention, if we're going on location, anything that we have going on will be on the website, meistercon.com. Thank you guys so, so much. We appreciate you so much. I can't express enough how appreciative we are of all of you. We never expected to do as well as we have, and that's all because of you. Thank you so much. Enjoy that interview. Bye, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Two Opinionated. I'm so excited today. I've got actress, writer, producer Jaime Andrews with me. So welcome, Jaime.
Hi, how you doing, everybody? Nice to meet you, Mike.
Well, it's so nice to meet you. And we had a great conversation off camera.
Y'all missed it. It's all downhill from here.
It was bad podcasting on my part because I was like, hey, maybe we should record some of this.
Yeah, let's get it on tape for posterity. Let everybody into our conversation.
No, I've been really excited to talk with you. You're friends with Ezra Buzzington, which we just had on the show.
Just had
we had that conversation
just a couple shows ago.
I was trying to remember. I know, I do know the connection with you and Ezra. You were in that Scream of the Bikini movie together.
Very good. Yes, very well done.
I knew I'd figure it out. I was trying to remember.
Back. We were in the same theater community in Los Angeles. It's a very tight-knit group of people. And so I've known him for years. Yeah.
You've known him when he was little Ezra.
He was just a baby Ezra then. We were all babies then. Yeah. Scream and Bikini goes way back.
Fun, it's like movie. 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's a really fun movie. Yeah, definitely recommend. And I play a virgin, which obviously was a stretch.
There you go. Well, was it you in the bikini that they were screaming at?
I do scream in a bikini.
Oh, okay. How about that?
I don't know. Was Ezra the title scream of the bikini?
Did Ezra get to wear a bathing suit and scream?
No, I think he was wearing a cloak. Or no,
he was right.
No, he was so big and fancy already. He was on a TV screen. And like his character, but like my character was like feeding him grapes while he was on a TV screen or something. It was very funny.
I have to see this movie.
Yeah, it's super silly. Let me know what you think of it.
This is one of those movies that you don't even want to know ahead of time the plot.
No.
Just dive in.
Yeah, it's pretty unusual.
I'm gonna find it. So I know we've got to talk about the memoir, but before we do, tell me a little bit about why you got into the entertainment business. Why'd you want to become an actress?
Oh, why did I want to become an actress?
It's a hard business.
It's very hard, but there was never anything else I wanted to do. Like I was driven on that from kindergarten. I was the lead of the kindergarten play, lead of the first grade play. Like all signs just pointed to you are an actor. And I started doing children's theater when I was in junior high and
pretty
doing
early.
local. Yeah, that was always what I wanted to do. I was pretty obnoxious about it.
You know, it's funny because any other profession, that's usually not the answer. You know, most of the time as a kid, we're like, we want to be this when we grow up, and then we're something else. And, you know, you don't follow that. But I found talking with actors, a lot of times they know like early, that's what they want to do. And then they stick with it.
They get applause one day at the dinner table and it just sticks. You're stuck for life. I just read a great quote that was like, if you want to find out what you're passionate about, think of what you loved doing when you were 11 years old. So I'm like, oh yeah, that scans. Used to put on plays in the backyard, all that.
That's completely true. You know, all I ever wanted to do, I was telling you, it was own comic book stores. That's all I wanted. And then I had to close, you know, at some point. And before, you know, Brett, who's my son, that's the partner on the podcast with me, I had to close before he was even born. And I always regretted it.
That's a tough business too.
Oh, it is tough. It was great for like a single college guy. Not the best if, you know, with a family.
Yeah, my friend's store just closed in Hollywood too. It's tough. It's tough out there.
I hate to hear that. Yeah, I miss those days, but mostly I miss not getting it, getting to share them with Brett. So part of the reason, the biggest reason we started the podcast was because we wanted to try to do something together where we could kind of experience what I didn't get to share with him in the comic book store, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. That's really special.
And then it kind of took off. So
he's a lucky kid. There you go.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think I'm a lucky dad. I don't know that I'd say he's a lucky kid.
You guys get a podcast. That's so cute.
You know, there's like, and I know you've got a podcast too. There's like 20 million podcasts.
It's so funny. I never thought I wanted to get into that realm. Same. But I was friends with Daniel Baldwin from being on the show World's Dumbest on truTV. And he moved into the area. He said he was looking for a co-host. I'm like, well, that sounds totally weird. Why don't we try doing that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm always a big fan of his. I always thought he was really good. And all the Baldwins are really good actors, but I thought he was just great.
It's kind of amazing that they're a whole family of really good, really handsome actors. Poor them, you know?
Right.
It's terrible. A rough life.
I wonder, have all of them ever been in the same project?
No.
I'd love to see that, I think, but
I think everybody would. That would be something. I don't know. That if you could put that together, you'd win an award. On that. Yes.
You tell Daniel to expect my call.
Okay. Done.
When did you start the podcast?
Oh, this has only been going on for about a month.
Oh, really? Like,
so it's very new. It's very new.
Well, yeah, I got to start listening. Yeah. Because it's the Daniel Baldwin podcast, right?
It's the Daniel Baldwin show with Jaime Andrews. And you just, search for it on YouTube that way. And it's also on this platform, iShook. It's very interesting. But he can talk about any number of things that might shock you. Like he's no holds barred. Like he comes out with
kind of podcast
conspiracies, and so I'll be there to kind of
you're the wrangler.
Put on the brakes. Yeah. And he takes some wrangling, I don't think I have strong enough rope for wrangling that bull.
Great. Yeah. I got to listen to that. I've always been a fan of his. I think he's just so talented. I'd like to, wouldn't you like to go to a family dinner and just kind of see, are they rivals? Is it just, nobody talks about acting when they're together? They talk about other stuff. What's that like?
I think it must be very intense.
Has to be.
Yeah.
They're all kind of intense actors.
I kind of picture like the show The Bear, that Christmas episode.
Yes. I love The Bear. You can only watch one episode like a day. It's so intense.
Mm-hmm. Really well done. Really well done.
Yeah, it's a terrific show.
Yeah. I'm available, Bear casting.
Right. I've been trying to learn to cook so I can help out with my wife because she works for Live Nation and she'll work
Oh, wow.
12, 14 hours a day at home when she's not traveling, which is she travels most of the time and cooks dinner. And I was like, I gotta start helping. So,
Yes, good man. I appreciate that. See,
so go ahead.
we're totally opposite in this house. My husband works, he cooks way more than me. I mean, entirely. He cooks entirely. Let's not kid ourselves.
There's a lot of guys out there that cook. That was not the case when I was growing up, but now,
Yeah.
and that's what I said. I was like, if I could just learn the simple stuff.
Let him be your inspiration. And you know what I recommend? Meal kits. We do meal kits.
Oh yeah.
And
My oldest uses those all the time. Her and her
Mhm.
husband, they stand by them. They love them.
Oh my goodness, we'd be lost without it. They're so good.
He gets stuck with a lot of crock pot meals, a lot of casseroles, chili. I can do the basics.
Every little bit helps, us ladies appreciate it, especially she's working 12 to 14-hour
Oh my
days.
gosh.
This
She's
is the
so
least
busy.
you could do, Mike.
Yeah, I know she's so busy. So I've always helped with, I'm very, I like everything in its place. I don't like a lot of clutter. So I've always cleaned the house because I was like, you just let me do it or it's going to drive me crazy. So I've always done that. So that part she doesn't have to fool with. But the cooking part after you work 12 hours, that's not great. And she's still got to cook some because I don't have enough, meals built up yet. But I'm
Right.
trying. That's my I guess New Year resolution, even though I've started
Okay.
for the last month,
Mike, you are winning some good guy awards with me.
I don't know.
That's
We've been
that's what it's
together
about.
18 years and I'm just now starting to do it. So I don't know if that counts as a good guy or not.
But it's a partnership. You clearly treat it like a partnership and not like
Isn't
the
that the
woman
best
is your
relationship?
indentured servant.
I mean, I tell that to all my kids are married, have kids of their own. I tell them it doesn't matter how you split the work, but you have to split it. You can't just have one of you doing all the work and then one
Yes.
of you just sitting around or you'll end up resenting each other.
I just got anxious. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just sitting around, but I'm not. I did this stand-up bit where I'm like, we're really good at dividing the labor. He cooks and cleans, and my job is being awesome.
Well, I think that's a hard job.
It's not easy.
It's not, it's stressful. It's hard to be awesome all the time.
We do balance out in other ways. So
Well, that's the way, like for us, I tend to take care of her in the mornings because that's her downtime before she starts work. So I'll make the coffee and kind of take care of her that way. In the evenings, it's switched. She tends to take care of me in the evenings, and it works good.
You guys, I want to come. I'm coming over for dinner. You're
come
cooking.
on. Yeah, give me some, give me some notice because I'll have to plan.
Okay.
But you come on. I know
okay.
I know you can make the drive.
You learned earlier. I've already driven by there. I can do it.
Atlanta's got like a really good TV movie scene now.
That's part of why we came here.
Yeah.
My husband's sister, she's a locations manager, and she said they need actors. You've got to come here. And I had done 13 years in LA. My husband had done 30.
Oh,
and I just kind of felt like I was spinning my wheels, wanted to try something different. And it's the best move I could have made because it's inspired me so much. It inspired the movie Division that I wrote and produced and star in. It's available on streamers.
I know what you might as well have directed too.
I drew the line at directing. I would have loved to direct, but I don't know things that I think you should know as a director about camera lenses and lighting stuff. I don't know the technical side. So
I saw you directed an episode of Heels.
Oh, that's really funny. I played a director on Heels.
Oh, you played a director. Okay. Well, I saw it said director, so I assumed.
Isn't that funny?
Well, that makes sense. It's a wrestling show. So you're going to you have to have somebody kind of staging the scene, I guess.
That makes sense. But no, it was actually it was a show inside the show. and I was the director, and it was very
Better.
nice. They said, like, you seem like a real director, and I'm like, that is absolutely because I produced on that movie. Like, I was able to know what it's like to run
There's
a
a little
set,
bit of overlap, right? Because the producer sometimes has to help the director and the DP.
Well, yes, me and Jason Wynn, who is my great director, we worked really closely together. We were really symbiotic, had a lot of same ideas. And
What's Division about? Because I remember reading it and thinking, well, that sounds really interesting. But what's the story?
well, it's about an actress. I write very much about myself
I
for
think
the
that's
most
okay.
part.
I mean, we've already established awesome. So
Thank you.
why wouldn't you write about yourself?
Oh, well, okay. That was just for a stand-up comedy bit. I don't know if it's true. But it's an actress who connects with a fan online during the pandemic. And it seems like they have a strong connection, and it seems like fate, but she finds out they have opposing political views. So can they come together, or do they prove we're all too far apart? So
It's
it's
very
kind of
timely.
controversial. It's very timely. We're hoping next year being an election year, it
Yeah, the
comes to the
timing's great.
forefront. Yeah,
It, it,
because
it,
we're dealing with all the same issues again, except
I
that
saw it's out on like Tubi, right?
actually, I hate to have to say this, we had a problem with our distributor. Love them. It was a
Yeah,
problem with their distributor. Who knew distributors have distributors?
it happens.
So keep an eye on the moviedivision.com. It's still on Apple and Vudu and iTunes, but it's not on Amazon and Tubi right now because the new distributor has to put it up on the
Right.
platform.
Takes
I
a little
was
while.
told it's just days from now.
Okay.
So
We'll hold them to that.
very, very exciting to be able to say, watch my movie, can't tell you where.
Can't tell you where. I'm glad it's on Apple because our plan is to watch it this weekend in the studio.
Oh,
Like we're inviting, the kids and their spouses over, and we're going to watch in the studio.
oh, awesome.
So yeah, so we'll just watch on Apple now.
Well, you have to let me know what you
Oh, I
think.
will. I'll try to take some pictures.
Okay, okay, great. I'm really proud of it. Yeah, it's definitely ripped from the headlines.
Well, so is it a true story?
It's based in truth. It's
Okay.
based on an actress, and in the movie she talks to fans of Globe Silliest, whereas I have often talked to fans from World's Dumbest,
Right.
and it was the
That's funny.
strangest, most, yeah. So there was a lot of crossover from reality, and then it's just I took it to a place like, what if I had a relationship with one of
Yeah.
these fans? Because sometimes they'll write to you and they can want to get closer to you than you want to get.
Yeah, be careful there.
um, so I kind of
Tell them
imagined
to get a
in this
podcast.
movie,
That's the best way to do
right? Oh shoot, now I get it, Mike.
it. I'm just a fan.
You got me, you got me. No, that's very funny. But it was also very funny. A fan of World's Dumbest heard me talking about the movie on Twitter, and he actually wrote to me and he invested in the film.
Oh, that's awesome.
So there was the lines of reality and fiction really got blurred. I'm so grateful, but it was a pretty weird
Yeah,
occurrence.
that's kind of strange or coincidental, I guess, but that's awesome. That's awesome. Is it like did you leave it open ended where you could revisit at some point if you wanted to do like a show or another movie?
Well, that's funny because, if it really took off, there would be a call for Division 2. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's been that popular, but I had a really good idea
We'll wait
for
until it
for
gets
Div
on everything, then we'll decide.
right, right. Get back on there, you guys.
That's right.
Um, they're working on it. They're working on it. Um, but yeah, what?
I'm just letting you wind down.
Yeah. Well, I was on something and then you asked another thing and I lost the original thread.
Yeah, yeah.
Pardon me.
Well, I don't
Pardon me.
remember what no, I'm kidding. We were talking about Division and the fact
Yes.
that you left it open if you wanted to revisit.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, I had a really good idea for Division 2. Takes it to a kind of meta level.
Electric
So I would,
Boogaloo, perhaps.
oh, Electric Boogaloo, the best sequel name ever.
Right?
I need to watch that again. That was a
I
classic.
don't think I've seen it since I saw it in the theater back in the 80s.
Wow. Oh my God. I remember. Did you become a breakdancer because of it? I was
Let
Jazzy
me
J.
this is a sad story. So let me tell
Oh
you.
no.
So what I got out of that is that, girls like guys in parachute pants. That's what
Mm-hmm.
so I bought like every possible collar of parachute pant and muscle shirts. Like not just any muscle shirts, but the ones with the fake leather stripe type of things going on. So I had that, I could have been an extra in, breaking, but I can't dance.
Oh.
So like, and I was an introvert. So I literally scared to death that somebody would want to come up to me and challenge me to a dance off. Cause that's what they did in the movie. I'm like,
So funny.
I'm going to have to just slink away.
So you dressed the part, but you couldn't bring the noise, bring the
Yeah,
funk.
that's it. And I never thought about it until I was in the situation. And I was like, what if somebody wants to dance? There was no Electric Boogaloo for me.
Now you said that was a sad story. That's actually a very funny story.
It's actually funny.
I'm sorry to laugh at your pain.
It was sad for me, but it is fun.
Yes.
It is
So
fun.
many things that seem sad at first become funny later on.
But you know how
Thankfully.
that goes, And I wore those parachute pants. I got a compliment or two, and then I was like, okay, this is all I'm wearing ever.
See, there's something to be said for styling,
I also had like members only jackets and like same, like every collar you could imagine. I could wear a different one every day.
If you still had those, I would buy them off you. There's a great aftermarket for
I know.
members only jackets.
I wish
You would kill it on eBay.
We had a local store called Chess King.
Mm-hmm.
And
I remember Chess
you
King.
remember Chess King, and that's where I bought all my stuff.
Oh my gosh! So you were the Chess King.
I was
the Chess King King. Yeah.
Now you got back in the 80s, I had pretty good hair.
Oh yeah. Did you have a mullet?
It was more of a 70s style because it was more like a Sean Cassidy,
The feathers.
Yeah.
Yes.
I used to have this like it was almost like a horse brush, and you just you slid your hand into it and then.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I didn't appreciate it though. And one day it was just like, all right, buddy, I'm out.
Or you appreciated it too much.
Maybe that's it. Yeah. I was smothering. Just like I'm out of here. It's too much.
You're too proud of it. It was like Icarus, too close to the sun. Yeah.
Yeah.
You rock it though.
You think?
Oh yeah, I love a good shaved head on a dude.
Well, and I'm due a haircut. I normally get a cut about every 10 days. But yeah, once it started going, I was like, we're not doing that. We'll just cut it off.
Yep.
And it is way easier.
No, and it's a great look.
Well, I appreciate that.
Jason Statham, exists for a reason.
That's true. And as far as anybody knows, I can fight just like that.
I believe it.
Yeah, okay. I wouldn't because I was, I've already established I was scared of a dance off. So,
well, just because you don't dance doesn't mean you don't, put up your dukes.
Yeah, I guess I could have done that if they challenged me. I could just like forget the dance. We're going to fight.
I don't know. A dance off, it's way more
it's so
peaceful.
So much better. I know.
Less people get hurt.
You know how that goes. I was like most guys at that age. I talked a good game, but if somebody actually wanted to fight, I probably wouldn't fight. Be like, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
Would you prefer a dance off? How did you end up on World's Dumbest?
That was so funny because
I love it because it brings in so many, like actors that I grew up on.
Yes, but like notice they're all actors who are they're kind of wayward actors, and then stand-ups. And I was neither a wayward actor nor a stand-up.
Right. So how did you get there?
But I believe it was Chelsea Peretti and I had the same manager. And so she's like, why don't you go in for this, write some jokes for them? Because I do like writing jokes. I just wasn't a stand-up because that scares me.
You could do it.
I've just kind of started
Oh.
trying a little late.
Oh, you got you got
Andrews.
to let me know, because maybe when I'm passing through Atlanta, I could drop into
Oh, that'd be so fun. No, me and my friend are just doing open mics and just like,
the little places.
yeah, stretch your
That's how you start.
skills. And yeah, I don't know that it's something I want to pursue. It's just a challenge
Yeah,
for
I get that.
ourselves, Um, so see, now again,
World's
are we getting
Dumbest.
question? Yes.
How did you end up on World's Dumbest?
So if we get a question in the middle, I have trouble getting back to the first one.
Yeah.
So
I'm bad about the multiple.
no, I love
questions.
it, but I'm gonna make a note. I'm gonna make a note for the time. So we had the same manager. She had me go in and they just liked what I did. And so there were the stand-ups, there were the actors, and there was me. And I did it for 5 years. And
I know that's a long run.
let me tell you, by the 5th year, there's only so many jokes you can write about like drunk people falling down and hitting their face. So it got, and that's why it went off the air. Well, I'd say it went off the air. They stopped filming it, but they have played it. It's been 10 years.
It's still going.
It still
Yeah, I mean,
shows,
you can
and it
still
just went
find
to a
it
new
on
network. And
TV. Yeah,
yeah,
it just
yeah,
bounces around.
yeah. I still hear from people about it. It's so funny. I've had a couple of jobs that just haunt me. I did this commercial for Kmart, the ship your pants.
Were you in that?
I was in ship my pants. And every time it goes around
It's a
the
very
internet,
popular commercial.
someone tags me like, remember this?
I
No,
have to go back
no
and
one
watch
lets me
that now, because
forget.
I
Yeah.
remember those commercials.
Yeah, I'm the mom in it. And then I was on the cover of a My Chemical Romance album.
Yeah, I saw it. Wait, I wrote that down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Life on the
And
Murder Scene was the song.
yeah, and they just started hiring me to come to events to sign autographs because
Really?
fans of that band are
Well, My Chemical
super
Romance,
intense.
that Gerard, he wrote Umbrella Academy, which is on Netflix. That's based on his comic book.
What?
Yeah. So that's probably part of the reason that it's not just the music. He's actually like a legitimate comic book writer.
How did I never hear this? Thank you so much for this.
Well, Umbrella Academy, I'm assuming you've probably seen it
Yes.
on Netflix. Yeah, that's based
Yes.
on his comic.
I know there was a big uproar because that got canceled, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because I loved it. It's the show is really good. The comic's even better. It's really good.
Mike, you have blown my mind to tiny little pieces.
I've always
Wow.
said I've got all this useless knowledge banging around my head and nowhere to put it. And then podcasting came.
Podcast. There you go.
Yeah. And it comes in handy on here.
Yeah. Look at that. I just got a little nugget from the Mike Museum.
That's right. That one's free.
I'll send you a check for the rest.
So, okay. So we got to talk about the book.
Yes.
And I know this is something you worked on years ago.
Yes.
It's out more recently
Mhm.
than that. So it's The Brink, a memoir.
Yes.
So what is it about? And why did it take so long to get it out there?
Well, let me tell you, Mike, it is the rather scandalous tale of my youth where I get into, the stuff that teens usually get into, but I kind of took it to an extreme. That was my wrestling.
I like that.
The extreme.
Yeah, that was good.
And insofar as it was really fortunate that I made it out to survive, not just survive, but thrive. And so I'm hoping that people that read it who are struggling can know they can turn their lives around.
Yeah.
And can recognize themselves and maybe not make some of the same bad choices I made. And that's why it didn't come out till now, because I wrote it like in a fever dream. When I first moved to LA, I was broke. I didn't have friends yet. So I would just sit in my room and write this story. It finally came out of me. Like I knew I wanted to tell this story. I knew that that was my path, like that this needed to be told.
Yeah.
And
Well,
sure
good for
enough,
you for not giving up on it, because that's a long period of time to wait.
well, I had interest from a fancy agent right away, and I said I wanted to publish it anonymously. And she's like, no, no, we sell, the author
That's
is
right.
part of what we sell.
Well, yeah, people want to know who the
Mhm.
story is about.
I thought maybe that was interesting to be anonymous, but I didn't want it to get in the way of my acting career because
Right.
it is, I mean, it's
Scandalous.
very no holds barred truth telling.
Well, good for
I do
you.
not sugarcoat anything. I'm brutally honest about everything.
That's not
So,
easy to do, especially when you're talking about mistakes from your past, because
mhm.
maybe people don't know about them. Now you're letting them know. You're
Yeah,
letting them see behind the curtain a little bit.
yeah, and it's a little scary now,
Yeah.
but I'm also at the age where I'm like, who cares? None of it matters anymore. And if
Well,
it
it
can
got
make
you
a
here.
difference, then it's worth it. That's true.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
true.
would you be in this same place doing the things you're doing if you hadn't went through that stuff?
Exactly. Well,
I mean, maybe.
I try not to entertain that stuff too much because yeah, I wonder if I had made better choices where I could have gone, but like it's a useless
Yeah,
path of thought to go
there's no
down.
point in rehashing old regrets.
Right.
Where does that get you? You can't fix it.
Exactly. So I'm grateful to be where I am now.
Yeah.
And yes, exactly. Everything I've been through has brought me to that point. So can't be mad about it. And
No.
it makes a heck of a story because
Yes.
I'm also funny about it. Like it's very dark, but
But kind of humorous too.
I can't
I
help
have
but
a
joke
feeling
around.
that's kind of you. A little
Yes.
dark, a little humorous.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how you got me. What do
Hmm.
you mean? I am a beacon of shining light.
Yes, you are.
But also darkness. We
Yeah,
all have that
I think the
dichotomy,
book
right?
sounds awesome.
Thank you.
I was telling my wife about it, and she wants to read it. So, but she doesn't read anymore. It's all listening. So, can she?
Oh,
Is it in audio form yet?
yeah, it's on Audible and
Oh
I
yeah.
do the audiobook myself.
Oh, I love that.
My husband's an audiobook narrator. So I was
Mhm.
able to do it in his studio and he
He's got,
produced it.
he's
So it
got a little
sounds
place.
good. Yeah, he's got a place he's below me right now. That sounds weird. Technically, he is downstairs.
So he's working right now.
He's working right now, making his own
That's
audiobooks.
not,
So
yeah. And when because you did your own book, it's not easy doing those audio books. I mean, that you have to be kind of perfect in what you're saying, but it takes so long to get through it.
I don't know how he does it. I think the only reason I enjoyed doing it was because I enjoy the story
Yeah.
and I really was able to get into it. So I had so much fun doing it, but I tried to do another story like, oh, well, maybe I could get into this as a career. No, no, I can't.
Yeah. It's different if it's your own stuff, a little tougher if it's somebody else's.
Yeah, well, obviously I'm familiar with my voice
Yeah.
and the way I say things, so it came kind of easily.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Was
that'll just make her want to read it more. Or I guess, does that count as reading? Because everybody's listening to stuff now, but does that count as reading?
I've heard they say it absolutely counts. You
Okay.
absorb the same amount
Same way.
listening as you do reading. Yeah.
Well, she has this, I've already established she's very busy. So she listens to
Yes.
everything at like 2.5 times the speed. So I'll walk into the room and it's talking so fast, you can't follow it. It sounds kind of
Really?
ridiculous, actually, but she's done that for so long, she can follow it.
She is super genius.
Yeah, she kind of is.
This should be, maybe we need to get a comic about her and her superpowers, like listening to things really fast. She can communicate and learn information at hyper speed.
That's it.
What do you think?
I'm very jealous of it because it's like I tried. I was like, well, let me try, and even just going up like 10%, I was like, well, this is terrible.
Does it sound like the Chipmunks?
Yes,
I could not with
kind of like a
no.
combo between the Chipmunks and the teacher from Charlie Brown.
That is so funny.
But now she's listening and doing that. But if she's listening without her headphones or if it's out loud, I can't talk to her Like if I walk in the room, because then she can't, even that little distraction, then she can't follow what it's saying. I was like, well, no kidding, you got it running like a sprint.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I'd be happy to tell her fast stories whenever she'd like.
Okay. But yeah, and now she'll be reading it, which means I'll be reading it, because if she likes it, she'll pass it on to me. That's usually how we go. She reads it, because I used to be such a reader. That's all I did. I was an introvert, so I read just constantly and stuff. But at some point, I kind of stopped read. Well, I know what point. It's when my eyes started to get tired when I read, I stopped reading. So now I'm trying to transition to listening, but I'm having a little trouble with it because I like holding the book.
Even if it's not on the air, we have to talk again after the movie and the book, so you can tell me what you think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And ask me any questions you have.
You may have to come back
one at a time.
Just so.
Oh, yeah, I'd be glad to come back. Sure.
Yeah, so we can talk about it after I've read it.
Absolutely.
To it. I think I'd rather listen to it though if you're doing it.
It's my favorite method of conveyance of this book.
Yeah.
Because I just think it's so fun, and I had such fun doing it.
All right, done. It's a done
deal.
All
right, cool. You're on.
See, that's good podcasting for me, because I've already roped you into a second episode.
Look at that. See, what can I say?
You're new to podcasting. You probably don't have that skill yet, but it'll come.
Oh, where I get people to want to come back?
Yeah, you got.
Well, I know you said Ezra's coming back, so you're 2 for 2 on us friends.
I know that happens, but you got to, we're closing in on 700 episodes, so you got ways to go yet.
That's an incredible accomplishment. Wow.
I think so too. I say all the time, everybody's like, I'm like, come on.
No,
it's not like we've been doing this for 20 years. I mean, we're almost to 5 years.
Wow.
That's a lot of episodes.
That's incredible. Yeah. I'm very impressed.
Well, I can't
imagine getting to 700 episodes.
Well, I can't vouch for the quality of all of them, but the majority are really good.
Well, it's like when they used to have 24 episode seasons of television.
Yeah. You had the filler.
Now they boil it down so it's tighter, but you have some filler episodes.
Yeah. And we do have a few of those. It just happens.
Sure.
You don't mean for it to happen, but it happens.
Okay. Well, I hope I'm
you're not the filler.
Okay. Sorry, I had to go there.
Yeah, you're not the filler. I saw you on Wolfpack.
Oh, that wasn't much of nothing, but
it was a little something though. I saw you though.
Yeah.
That it's and admittedly, I like the fantasy stuff, so that attracted me. But then it had Sarah Michelle Gellar. I was like, well, I got to check that out.
Yeah, I think I'll give you the inside scoop. I think the character was supposed to be more but they killed off her son. Like the son was supposed to keep going.
Yeah, I know why'd they do that.
I'm not going to make statements on that.
All right. Well, if you got to tell me off camera.
Okay. I have guesses. I have theories.
Yeah.
I have fanfic.
Yeah, because it seemed like she was supposed to have a bigger role just from watching.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, what can you do? That's the way this business goes. As you said, it's not easy.
No, it's like legit difficult.
Oh, yeah.
What did you do with Penn and Teller?
Oh my gosh, that's going way back.
Yeah.
And that happened because of the LA theater community. Penn and Teller were friends with people from the group I was in, and they were looking for people for a pilot. And so a bunch of us auditioned for this pilot, not Penn Jillette. And a couple of us got to do it. And after doing that, the pilot didn't get picked up, but they asked me to come on and do a couple of episodes of their show. Can I say BS? We'll just call it
BS. Yeah,
you
can say it.
Okay, their show Bullshit.
Yeah.
So I was like man on the street, woman on the street person. I had to trick people into doing various things that proved their point. Like one
Oh.
was
See, I watched that show. It's just been a while.
oh yeah, it's been a long time, but that you could still find that too. It's
Yeah,
like
it's out
it
there.
was like organic foods, and like I had to trick people into like saying like, oh yeah, this is definitely organic, and not none of it was. So just proving that it was bullshit. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of entertaining.
oh, it was terrifying jobs though. My first jobs in the business were all terrifying. Like I was like, give me a script. Like let me just work on a script. The first jobs I had were all like improv jobs. And oh man, it was daunting. They were
Yeah.
very daunting.
I finally got to see them in person in Vegas. My brother, when he turned 50, he wanted to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
We saw them in person, which was great, except I'll tell on myself. I have tried like the marijuana gummies twice in my life.
Oh
Twice
no.
in my life.
I don't like where
So
this is going, Mike.
this was the second time, right? This was the second time, and it knocked my ass out. Like I don't know how people do that.
No.
You do the party stuff and you're like, hey, try this. I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. Well, like I remember the start of the show, I was having the best time. And then the next thing I remember, I'm back in the room. I don't remember leaving the show. I asked my brother, I was like, was I okay? And he said, yeah, you were just quiet. But I
See
guess I
that?
was
Don't
like
do drugs, kids.
functioning.
You miss
Yeah,
all
don't
the
do them.
fun parts of life. I'm so sad you didn't get to see their show. Their show is so great.
Well, I
I've seen it
saw
a
it.
couple. You don't remember it. Are you sure?
I saw the first half I remember really well, but at some point, I guess the gummy kicked in.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I know.
Maybe
I'm not proud
maybe
of it.
maybe they made you disappear.
Yeah. I'm not proud of it. But everybody tries something somewhere.
Oh, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
No
Well,
judgment here.
I know. I got a little judgment on myself. I'll have to tell you the first time I tried because it was years before. And basically the same thing happened.
Okay, so I'm guessing the lesson's been learned now.
It's learned. It's no thanks. I'm good.
Unless you're like, I want to be unconscious. Now you
Oh,
know what to do.
okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell the story. I'll tell it. This is the first time. I'm
Okay.
in LA. We're staying at the Roosevelt. They're on Hollywood.
Very nice. Yes.
Very nice. I love staying there. Han Solo, the movie, was coming out. And I was like, I gotta go. I gotta go see it. So my wife says, well, take one of these. We'll try this together. Right? Okay. 20 minutes later, she's asleep. And I felt nothing. I was fine. I was like, I'm trying to wake her up. I was like, the movie's going to start. We got to go. She wouldn't wake up. She's like, just go by yourself. I was like, okay. So I walk across the street to the Chinese theater. So I go see Star Wars. I get in there and I step up to buy my ticket and I'm buying, my snacks and that stuff. And at some point I was gone. And I remember the guy saying, are you going to order something?
So funny.
Yeah. And it's another one. Now that one, I remember the movie. I had the best time. But I'm pretty sure I missed parts of it. So there you go.
So you were in and out.
I was in and out. So those two experiences, which were years apart, that it convinced me that that's not for me. That's not for me.
No, it doesn't sound like it's a good match.
I was like,
there.
It's fine. I'll just have a margarita. I'm fine.
With salt or without?
No salt for me.
Frozen or
no
ice?
On the rocks.
Okay.
And preferably, I like the skinny margaritas. Like I prefer the ones without the sweet and sour mix. I like it with the lime juice.
Oh, I have to try that.
Yeah. It's
good.
Less calories.
Yeah, I'm all
and only good tequila. I don't want that cheap stuff. That cheap stuff, that's what gets you the hangover.
Yeah.
You need Patron or higher.
Oh boy.
There you go.
Top shelf Mike over here.
Top shelf. Yeah, there you go. I've let out all my dirty laundry. About the parachute pants, my dabbling that didn't go too well. There you go.
I got all the good I got, maybe I should have my own podcast. I'm gonna
I was
get
gonna say,
everyone's dirty
if you
secrets.
if you need a guest, I'm ready.
Okay.
You know,
Okay. Making a note.
make a note. Make a note. I don't know what the heck you'd want to talk about, but I'm there. You said though, Daniel talks about whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's you go on a ride.
We kind of have went on a ride this episode.
I'm all for it. I can't go on roller coasters anymore. They jostle you too much. I don't know. It's very upsetting. I used to love roller coasters, but yeah, this is the only ride I can handle now.
Yeah.
A verbal
I've never
one.
done roller coasters because I'm afraid of heights. I mean, I've
Oh,
been
okay.
on them, but I hated them. But I used to be able to do the round and round stuff, the stuff that spins. I can't do that anymore either.
No, it's terrible. And it's like what I think I heard, it's like your equilibrium as you get older, something in your inner ear.
Well, it's like, I'm
nervous.
a pawpaw now, so I've got grandkids, and
Oh,
I know it's the best. It's the best, but you do the stuff where they want to be spun around in a circle. They're fine at the end of it. I got to sit down. It makes me so dizzy. I know. Getting old.
What has become of us, Mike?
We had such promise back when we were wearing our
know,
members only jackets, and
let's have the tiniest violins play a little symphony for us.
I got to go dig through the closets and see if I've got anything in there.
Yeah, please send me some members only jackets.
If I ever come as a guest, there you go. If I find a members only jacket, I'll wear that on the show.
Okay, cool.
I know the parachute.
I will hold you to that.
Gone. Yeah, the parachute pants long gone. Maybe there's a members only jacket still there somewhere.
Daniel usually picks the guests, so I'm not sure I have any say in the matter. But
I'm gonna put it out there to him.
Okay.
No, you probably don't want me on there. You probably don't.
You don't know what I want, Mike. You don't know me, man.
Don't bring that. I want your podcast to grow and do well. You don't want to bring on the podcast guy from West Virginia. Nobody wants to see that.
My husband actually came on a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, that's awesome. How'd he do?
Oh, he's great. He's another one you just wind up and let him go.
Those are the best people.
Yeah. No, he's
I mean, it's funny though, because I'm such an introvert. Like when I'm done with the podcasting for the day, I got to go and just sit in the dark for a little bit.
No, I'm the same way. I am the same way, 100%.
There's a lot of actors that are introverts. That surprised me. I didn't realize that, but I guess you're fine while you're in character, but then after it kind of hits you.
Yeah, I think I saw it's called like an extroverted introvert.
That's yes.
Like you can be lively and entertaining. Yeah. But then you really need to recharge your batteries, right? Yeah.
Which is part of the reason I watch so much TV, which helps with the podcast.
Exactly.
Because I need something mindless for a little while. After I've been doing anything, basically.
Same here. You gonna watch Survivor tonight?
Yeah.
I love Survivor. My
husband
got me into it. Never missed one?
No.
Ooh, Survivor super fan. Would you ever want to be on?
I used to, but the more I've watched, I'm like, I'm afraid of heights. I'm not a very good swimmer. I can't have gluten to eat. So
and all the rice.
And I don't like mice, bugs. I could do the rice. But then, they always have the reward challenges stuff. I was like, I probably couldn't eat any of that stuff.
Okay.
I'd be the worst contestant ever. Which might be a reason to put me on the show.
Knowledge of yourself is important.
Knowing
what you can handle. I would love to be on there.
Have you submitted?
No, because like you, I have things that make it impossible. I have lupus.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. See, I understand the autoimmune.
Super fun. Yes.
I've got celiac, so I know.
Yeah. So lupus, you can't actually be in the sun for too long.
Yeah, that might be a detriment.
So I think that you would.
But if you apply, I will apply. We could be
Not
like
gonna apply, Mike.
like yeah, it's both of us or nothing.
That would be really funny. We'll be just the useless team that like hides under a palm frond.
You know what this season that was interesting is that one team was so bad they had to get rid of them. You know they didn't plan to just disband that team.
No, that was
Yeah,
very unusual. Yeah.
very
And
unusual.
that first woman who's like, don't want to be here, take me out.
What was going on with that? That
I,
never happened
I think
up
she just
until the
wanted a
last couple of years.
cigarette. She said she had just quit smoking to be on the show. I think she was having a Nick fit.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Well, and then the one guy, he found out he was safe, and then at tribal council just said, "No, I think I'm good. Just send me out of here."
Oh, right. Yeah. So
It was
it's a very
weird.
weird
It's
year.
like he
Very
did the
weird
whole
year.
scramble thing. He had it set up. He wasn't going home, and then he said, "No, go ahead and vote me out."
Yeah, it's very
My
weird
theory on that is he
year.
decided I could stay in a resort for a month while everybody else is out here.
Because he was like the first member of the jury or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess if you looked at it and you're like, well, I'm not going to win. So let's just go hang out at the resort.
I
Because you've
think
already
that's
been
the
on,
part I
especially like
want.
if you make it to the jury, because then you're still on, but they probably just bring you out for the tribal stuff.
I wonder what goes on in that hotel while they all wait on the jury. That sounds so fun down in
Yeah.
Fiji.
I know. I was like, well, I could kind
I
of
think that's the
understand.
part I really want. I don't think I want to like eat bugs and
No.
climb
At least
rope
they stopped that
bridges.
food stuff.
Yeah, that's true. They don't really do that,
They
huh?
don't do it too much anymore.
Yeah, but they also don't give you any food. Like you have to win rice.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it looks miserable.
Yeah, it does.
But
It
I keep
really does.
watching. I keep
And
watching.
they're all bloody and bruised every week. I changed my mind. I don't want this at all.
Yeah, let's pass. We're done with that. Now, Jamie, you have to come back. This has been great.
Oh, such a pleasure, Mike. Thank
This has been
you.
just a blast. I've been looking forward to talking with you. I had a feeling it was going to be really good. So
Oh, thank
this has
you.
been great. So a couple of things before we go.
Okay.
First one, anything you're working on that we can keep an eye out for?
I actually got some news today.
Oh,
I'm very
really?
excited. I wrote this screenplay called Hardcore that
Yeah.
I'm really psyched about because it's not about me. I wrote something not about me. Um, it's a true crime story about a kid I went to high school with, and it's mind blowing. I can't believe no one's done anything with it yet. So
We love true crime.
that's where I come in. And I just found out today it made it to the quarterfinals of this screenwriting competition.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
What's
awesome.
funny is it was in the horror genre, and when I first submitted it, they're like, "This isn't really horror,"
Yeah.
but it still made it to the next part of the competition. So
That's terrific.
really it was nice to get
You
that
got a
vote
lot
of
going on.
confidence. I've got a little too much going on, Mike. I need a
You
nap.
still made time to come on the podcast.
Of course, it was my pleasure. You are you are a delight.
Well, those are words that have never been said about me, so I appreciate that a lot.
I don't believe you. I hope to hear back from you after you watch Division and read the Brink.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, Division, we're going to watch this weekend, so I'll let you know that quick. The book
Okay. I hope it doesn't make you
Okay.
mad at actually both things might make you mad at me. So I'm excited
No
to
way.
hear from you. Okay.
Okay, so last thing, where can we find you on social media?
I am at Jaime Andrews. If you just search Jaime Andrews,
It comes right.
JAIME, that comes right up because otherwise it's at JMENDREWS.
Yeah.
You know, what do you do when your name is taken?
I know. Isn't that frustrating?
You make it happen.
You make do.
Yeah.
I know. Like if you put in Mike Wall, there's like 100.
100.
I think on IMDb, I'm like number 8 or something like that. I think I'm 8. Michael Wall 8.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm on IMDb. I'm Jaime Andrews 1 and 2. They made a second me. I don't know what she's about.
You
She's
were
done
so
the
good
same
they couldn't
work.
contain it on one page.
You know what? I think you're right.
I think I'm right.
That must be it.
All right, Jamie, hold on one second. That was Jaime Andrews, and she's the best. I think she's funny. I love that she's just very honest and open with stuff, and probably caused me to be a little more open than I usually am. So hopefully that was okay. I think it's good to talk about uh, mistakes from the past, silly things and dumb things that you do. I think that's good to share. It's cathartic, and if it can help somebody to be careful with that stuff, then I think that's probably a good thing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please check out Division, which we'll be watching this weekend, and The Brink, a memoir. I can't wait to read that one. And it sounds like she was very open with some of the struggles she had in her youth. So I'm anxious to check that out. Please support her. Jaime is terrific. You can definitely catch her on World's Dumbest. That is still out there. I think we hit on most of the things she did. She does voice in the Baby Geniuses TV show and movie, if you've ever seen those. And she had an appearance on Chicago Fire that I probably should have brought up as well, because she was terrific on that. Oh, and Legacies. She had an appearance on there. Really, really good. Thank you guys so much. Love to have your support if you're finding us for the first time. Our website is meistercon.com. We've got all 700 episodes up, audio and video. So please check out the website. If we're doing something in studio, like watching Division, if we're going on location, if we're checking out convention, anything we have going on, be on the website, meistercon.com. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. Would love for you to subscribe. It would really help us out. It's free, and you can find that on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. Till next time. Bye, everybody. Hi, everybody. I'm once again here to ask for your support. It's been a big year for the Two Opinionated podcast. Back in February, we got to live out a dream, moderate for William Shatner here in our hometown. In May, we passed 100,000 downloads on our YouTube channel, and we followed that up in June with 50,000 downloads on the audio side. We recently posted our 600th episode, which is pretty good volume for just a father and son operation. Not too many podcasts can keep that volume up. We've been doing this now for 4.5 years, 600 plus episodes. We recently hit 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, which is a really big deal for us because we've always gotten the views, but have struggled to get people to subscribe. So that 1,000 was a big deal for us. And best of all, we were recently named one of the top podcasts on IMDb, which is the entertainment database. Those that are ahead of us, we came in at number 82. Those that are ahead of us are bigger companies like Disney, mostly Marvel, and Joe Rogan, that type of podcast. So for us, being just a small West Virginia father and son podcast, to be in the top 100 out of 15 million, it's a pretty big deal for us. So thank you for everything you've done for us so far. Got a couple little ways, though, that you can help us, and they're free, and they're really easy. If you haven't checked out our YouTube channel yet, please go to YouTube. It's under MeisterCon Pod. Just hit subscribe. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Really helps us a ton. And maybe even more important, if you could go to IMDb, imdb.com, look up the Two Opinionated podcast, and just look around the page. Just having that traffic on the page really helps us out. So that's a couple easy ways that you can support us, even if you're not listening or watching all of the time. And we want you to listen and watch, because I think that our guest list, I would put up against anybody, any other show, podcast, anybody out there. I think our guest list holds up. So please check us out. You probably will find somebody that you like, or maybe somebody that you didn't know you liked, but kind of discovered them on there. There's tons of that. If you're into music, we have that too. If you like books, we've got authors on there. If you're more into what goes on behind the scenes in the entertainment world, we've got producers, directors, video artists, anything you can think of that happens behind the scenes, we've had them on the show. So definitely check us out. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Bye, everybody.